Hey guys, my name is Caleb Phelps. I'm one of the pastors here at South Fork, and welcome to the beginning of a new book in our series, The Daily Read. Let's get into the book of Romans. I want to share with you some of the things that I think Paul is wanting to communicate to the church in Rome that I think could be pretty helpful for us today, pretty applicable, pretty like it's up here and then we can bring it down here and get some things out of it that we can apply to our lives no matter where we might be, no matter what type of season we're in. And that's really the truth of all of Scripture, is that it's timeless. It speaks into all seasons of our life. So let's get into what we see Paul doing in Romans chapter 1. The first thing that we see Paul doing is establishing the type of relationship he has with the church at Rome. He has this longing to go to them. He has this, I think, deep affection for the people there. And I think that's really what's at the heart of any type of pastoral ministry. But let's take it even onto if you're a layperson, if you're not in ministry officially in a leadership position, there should be this deep sense of affection for one another. There's this one anotherness to the Christian faith that is unique. It's beautiful. It's a founding characteristic of how we function. Not only does the Bible say blessed are those when the brothers dwell in unity, like that's a good thing, but really the harmony of all of the scriptures is found in 1 Corinthians, where Paul talks about how we all function as this type of body. We're all different, but different doesn't mean bad. Different is actually good. It's harmony. It's melody with the harmony. It's complementary. So we see this is what Paul's relationship is with the church at Rome. But then he gets into something pretty specific. That something pretty specific is what he would begin to list as a kind of a laundry list of things that he would refer to in the broad category as ungodliness. Now, you might have heard Romans 1 used in a really kind of hitting with a hammer type of way. If you grew up in church at all, you might have heard it as a way of preaching how dirty and how wretched you are as a person. Now, are those things true? Are we completely lost in our sin without Christ? Absolutely. But Paul does not use this as a bludgeoning tool. In fact, what he uses this list for at the end of Romans 1, when it's read in conjunction with Romans 2, which we'll get into tomorrow, is he uses it as a mirror. And he begins to list off all these things, and he includes in them gossip and slandering, murderers, disobedient to parents. So he's kind of hitting all of the areas of the spectrum here. But what's the most fascinating is that as he makes the bridge from Romans 1 into Romans 2, he says, listen, we have no place to judge because that's some of us. So here's the practical takeaway from today. When we begin to think about sin as a means of falling short of the glory of God, of falling short of what He has had out for us to say, this is where joy is, this is where love, and this is where fulfillment is, this is where the satisfaction for all your desires, C.S. Lewis would say, are. He's saying we're falling short of that. We're saying, hey, God, I hear you, but I disagree. I'm going to disobey and go this other direction. And so sin is this missing out. It's actually a condemning of a missing out. God's saying, listen, why are you going your own way? Come back. This is where true satisfaction really is. And so Paul is pointing that out here as a way of exposing us in a means of saying, I'm going to expose you because I want to show you what true satisfaction actually is. It's not a hammer. Romans 1 is not a hammer. This is not something to beat people over the heads with, but rather it's the beginning of an invitation to love and to show them where true satisfaction really is. So that's going to bring us to the end of the daily read of Romans chapter 1. And tomorrow, we'll get into some pretty fun stuff. I'm excited about getting into Romans 2 because it's really the B side to Romans chapter 1. Love you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for Romans chapter 2.